Now, while you're scouring the internet for different builds for your Hu Tao weapons to use on her, there's something that you absolutely need to understand, and that's how her elemental skill, Guide to the Afterlife, is going to affect what weapons are going to be good in your build, because the least talked about thing for her skill, we all know it gives attack based on your health, but it's very important to know that it has an attack cap. And you might ask, well, why is this important? Don't worry, we're going to tell you exactly why and give you the best weapons for your Hu Tao. And as always, make sure you call someone today, even if it's just to say hi. So if you look at my base attack here, I have 715 base attack. This is from the combination of having a level 90 Hu Tao as well as a level 90 Staff of Homa. If you change your weapon from this weapon to maybe a 5-star weapon with even higher base attack, or a 4-star or 3-star weapon like the Deathmatch or the Dragon's Bane, the amount of HP you're going to need to hit that cap is going to be greatly reduced. You can hit anywhere from 30,000, which would cap you, all the way up to 50,000 health, which is something that you cannot hit with a good build on your Hu Tao. Because as a DPS, you're still going to be wanting to stack not just HP, but crit chance, crit damage, and even elemental mastery to get the most out of your reactions on your Hu Tao. And another thing that could slightly change what weapons are going to be good or maybe worse for you depends on the talent level of Guide to the Afterlife. If you have the Constellation that gives you an extra 3 levels, then you're going to be able to have a 7.15% HP scaling instead of a 6.26% HP scaling. For example, if I didn't have talent level 13 on this Hu Tao, I would need to hit 45,000 health to cap out the HP to attack threshold on Guide to the Afterlife. It's not something that you need to aim for, but it definitely is something that you don't want to go over on your build. So if you see a weapon that you like in this guide and you have way more HP than necessary for that weapon, try to drop off some HP percent in your main stat on your sands or in some substats and get more elemental mastery. You'll be doing way more damage that way, because having all the HP in the world doesn't matter if it's not actually giving you attack. So let's get this one out of the way. The Staff of Homa, how good is it? Well, it's de facto her best weapon. This weapon was perfectly balanced for the Hu Tao build. As we just talked about, the HP threshold equal to your base attack is very nice here. It allows you to cap out at 35,000 to 40,000 health, depending on your talent level, and also factoring in Hydro Resonance to help you get that extra 20% HP. So the base attack is fantastic. 608 is exactly what we want to see. It also gives us a nice amount of crit damage to help us scale our damage, but most importantly, the refinement ability, Reckless Cinnabar, gives us additional HP scaling. We already have HP scaling with Guide to the Afterlife, but now we get to double down on it and go in with the Staff of Homa ability, giving us additional health to attack. And on top of that, it also has an HP threshold of 50% for even further bonus attack, which sums up exactly well with Hu Tao's playstyle, because she does have an ability from her Ascension that gives her pyro damage bonus for being under 50% health. Having the access to the Staff of Homa is going to allow you to play Hu Tao the exact way that the developers designed her to, giving you bonus crit damage, attack percent bonus, as well as pyro damage from her internalized kit. Now, while odd at first glance, the Staff of the Scarlet Sands is actually pretty good on Hu Tao. It does have a lower base attack, but we already talked about how that's not that big of a deal, because in general, it's pretty difficult to balance and cap out that HP to attack thresholds on weapons with super high attack. You can probably cap this one out around 30,000 or 35,000 HP, especially easier if you're running in a double Hydro team for the Hydro Resonance. It has a whopping 44% crit chance, and the ability on here, while looking odd, is actually good in the proper build. It gives you bonus attack based on your elemental mastery. How can we use this in a Hu Tao build? The staff's lower base attack is going to allow you to cap out that HP to attack threshold from her elemental skill Guide to the Afterlife pretty easily, around 30,000 HP, especially if you're using her in a double Hydro team for that Hydro Resonance of 20% bonus health. It also allows you to change out some HP main stat and substat gear for more elemental mastery, boosting up not only just your reaction damage, but also boosting up the refinement ability of the staff itself, gaining some bonus attack from your elemental mastery. This weapon's very, very good in a Hu Tao build. So if you have this laying around from the Sino banner, you don't really feel like picking up the Staff of Homa, check this one out. And consistency is the key with this weapon. You might be seeing lower crit numbers compared to a lot of other builds, but they won't be substantially lower, but you're going to be very, very consistent on how often you crit with its whopping 44 crit rate. Now, one that's often asked about is the Primordial Jade Wing Spear. This does have a whopping 674 base attack, which seems nice on most characters. To cap this one out at talent level 10 though, you're going to need to have around 50,000 health total. That's counting Hydra Resonance. You're not gonna be able to cap this one out at all. But the real problem here is gonna be the refinement ability. She doesn't really do a lot of attacks in a short amount of time. And by the time you're gonna hit max stacks on this to get the damage bonus, your elemental skill is going to be wearing off and you're swapping Hu Tao out anyway. But even with those downsides, if you don't have any of the other weapons, this one's still a pretty decent option and you'll get some good results with it. Basically, the 4-star version of the Primordial Jade Wing Spirit is the Deathmatch. It will give you a mix of crit rate in between the Staff of the Scarlet Sands and the Jade Wing Spear at around 30% crit rate. The ability on this doesn't matter all that much either, giving you a bonus attack and a little bit of bonus defense. Not all that crazy. Also, the base attack on this is a 4-star weapon, so be very careful with how much HP you're putting on your Hu Tao. You're going to hit that threshold for the conversion cap pretty easily. One of my personal favorite 4-star weapons to try on Hu Tao is going to be Dragon's Bane. It has Elemental Mastery on it, which is going to help you out substantially because you're going to be doing reverse vaporizes with Hu Tao in pretty much every team that she's in. On top of that though, the refinement ability boosts your damage up even more. This weapon's a fantastic pickup for your Hu Tao. If you don't want to try any of the 5-star weapons, use this one, especially if you have her in a double Hydro team. You're almost always going to have the refinement ability active, and that Elemental Mastery is going to boost up those reactions even more. The only real downside to using the Dragon's Bane is it doesn't have anything that boosts your crit chance or your crit damage, no HP percent on it, but as long as you make up the lack of what this weapon offers in your artifacts, this weapon's going to be a very good weapon to use on Hu Tao. If you just started the game, there's also the Black Tassel, which is the penultimate free-to-play weapon. It just has health on it. That's fine. That's really all this weapon offers you. Normally and traditionally, 3-star weapons are awful due to their base attack being so low, but if you're brand new to Genshin, it's going to allow you to cap out that HP to attack from her elemental skill, while also giving you a reasonable secondary stat with HP on the Black Tassel. A small bonus is that if you're a slime life enthusiast, it does do bonus damage to slimes. Would have been great on the first 12 3-floor of Abyss when the game came out as well. All those cryo slimes. Now, weapons you probably shouldn't try to put on your Hu Tao, even if they seem good at first glance. Energy recharge weapons aren't really all that useful for her. We don't need a ton of energy recharge on Hu Tao. Most of her damage is going to be coming from her ability to do charge in normal attacks with Guide to the Afterlife active. Spirit Soother is more of an afterthought. You definitely do not need to have a certain amount of energy recharge to try to use her Elemental Burst every rotation or every other rotation. It's not that big of a deal. The vast amount of damage isn't coming from it. Energy recharge is an entirely wasted stat, in my opinion, on this character. And in addition to those weapons that buff up your Elemental Burst damage or Elemental Burst crit rate could be avoided on Hu Tao. Spirit Soother can hit relatively hard, but it's just that one hit. The vast amount of her damage is coming from the amount of normal and charge attacks you do with Vaporize as the reaction due to Guide of the Afterlife. For more information on Hu Tao, check out the 2023 updated guide covering everything you need to know about this character, not just weapons. As always, guys, I'll see you in the next one.